Hello everybody, it's me from Bespoke Crafts and welcome to my channel. Sorry about my cup of coffee there. Today's card I'm going to be using a Sizzix Thinlets. It's Sizzix 4221. I don't know the name of the die set because we're on the last bit away, and I've just looked on the Sizzix site and I can't find it either. So anyway, that's the number. So what I've decided to do is cut all the aspects of these dies out, and I've cut them multiple times. I think I've cut them actually 4 times each, because I'm going to make sets of Christmas cards. As you know, I've mentioned before, I've got a couple of Christmas fairs coming up, and I wanted to make the cards into sets of 4. So this is me just lining them up and just going to cut them out. And colouring, all I'm doing is using peel paint, twisted citron, and hang on a minute, I'll have a look. Forest moss. I'm literally just putting the inks down, putting some water on it, and then smushing the die cuts into it. Now I'm just adding a little bit more forest moss just to add a little bit more depth to the pieces, and literally just putting it on the brush, just painting it on wherever, just pushing it on wherever I want it. So I've decided to use these sprigs. I've cut my card pieces up into my card bases are 4 1/4 by 6, and the base is 4. Trying to measure it as I'm doing it, talking to you. 4 by 5 1/2. I've used, when I've cut these out, there was a spare piece of card which I've decided to use as well, which you'll see in a minute, just to add a little bit of depth into it. So I've decided as well that I'm going to use, well, I haven't decided at this point, but I'm going to use these poinsettia. Yeah, the poinsettia. And just looking now, I'm going to pop them on the card. I've also done the holly and the mistletoe. And on the berries on both of these, I have put glossy accents just so that they shine up a bit. So I've literally cut 4 out of each, simply because I'm going to make 3 different sets of cards. I know I'm going to have to put some more foliage out. I'm just looking about how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to position, and actually what I'm going to use at this point. These really are a nice set. I haven't used them very often, to be fair, but they are, you can utilise them for absolutely anything, any season. And I'm just bending the flowers up, just giving the petals a little bend and a twist, just to give that extra dimension to them. My husband's just made an absolute gorgeous pizza sandwich, and he pops tomato puree on it with cheese, garlic granules, mushrooms, and he's got one of these double toasty things. Oh, it was absolutely gorgeous. Right, so what I'm using now is, this is a bit of the scrap paper, and it measures 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I've just used my bone folder just to fold down the edge parts of it, just to smooth them down. I don't know what I've looked in that pot for. And then I'm just looking at how I'm going to position the cards, the elements on the card. So I'm using, just to make some more interest to the back, it's an All and Create stamp set. It's got 3 stamps in it, and it's #1181. I don't know the name of it. It's designed by Anton Demeva. It has. It's called Dot-Grid. So I'm doing it in my stamping platform because I want all of the cards to be as identical as possible. So I'm just stamping the versified ink on, the embossing ink on, and then putting the embossing powder, which I'm using distressed glaze in hickory smoke, because I wanted the cards to be sort of like more vintage. So I'm doing all 4 at once, funneling back, and then I'm going to dry and melt it using my heat gun. The cocoa paddling about at the side of me. Let's pop it. So once I've done this, I'm going to use the sentiment. Now, I'm not sure where I got these sentiments off. It will have been off Craft Stash, but I don't know the name of them. And I'm going to be using gold embossing powder for this. The sentiment says, from our house to your house. And again, using the stamping platform, popping the card in the corner just so I can get them as identical as possible. And I think this one I forgot to use my embossing powder, not powder, the duster, I can't remember the name of it, on it. What I'm doing here is I'm using a little bit of acetate just to check the positioning on the card where I want it. I'm just stamping it several times and just putting a little bit of pressure on because it's a fine lined font. If you squish it too much, it just it squishes it out, and it looks smudgy. So just running through these, I've done all 4 exactly the same. I think that when you melting the embossing powder, it's just so mesmerising. Just love watching it. I think everybody does. A little bit of a clean up there, and I'm just using a tiny wee brush to get any stray bits of embossing powder off. And then I'm using my pick tool as well when I can't get into the finer details. So just drying off, melting it. And then I'm looking at how I'm going to position the elements on the card. I'm using Gina Cake Net glue to glue down. You hear Millie saying hello in the background. But on one of these, I can't remember which one it was, I got ink on the back of on the base of the card, which with the glue, it just smudged it. It looked absolutely awful. So what I decided to do was use I've already done the others, so you didn't have to sit and watch that, was use my green blending brush. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to go over, just literally over that bottom foliage on all of them, just to blend in the bit of a mess that it made. And I'm only going lightly. I don't want a massive colour on it. But it just hides that mistake. Yeah, I can't tell it's there at all now. That's me just showing my husband. So what I've decided to do on the matte and layer is go around the edges with the same colour, just so it gives that extra little bit of definition when the card's put together, and just separates it up from the card base. So using Collall glue to stick down, I've used foam tape, which I'm going to add a little bit of extra glue on it to just give you that extra little bit of wiggle room so you're making sure it's straight. There you go. Just making sure it's straight. I'm going to use my my ruler just to make sure that it is level. I will be doing that in a minute. There you go. I've got this one. I've got a 6-inch one as well, which I normally have the 6-inch one at hand, but just making sure it's level top and bottom and side to side. And I've done all four exactly the same way. So here are today's cats. I hope you like them. I think they're quite sweet. I will see you next time. Bye.